Apartment construction remains, of course, a big story. We're at the highest levels of construction since the late 1980s, and as of now, there's no signs that we're slowing down anytime soon. But let's look at the latest permit numbers to see which markets could be heating up in terms of construction and which ones might be cooling off. Welcome to Apartment Market Dynamics from MPF Research. I'm Jay Parsons, your update on multifamily permitting activity. Let's start with some notable markets where multifamily permits have really ramped up, and we're looking only at markets that issued permits for at least 3,000 multifamily units in the past year. And these numbers are all for the year ending November 2014, and we're comparing to the preceding 12 months, the 12 months ending in November 2013. In the number one spot, Las Vegas is back. Well, kind of anyway. Construction has been absolutely minimal since the bust, and it's starting to climb again just now. Permitting volumes up to 3,164 units in the year ending November 2014. That's up 133%, ranking number one nationally in a landslide. And as some of you know, in Vegas, you might be thinking, oh no, here we go again. But just to make you feel better, this is still just about 25% of the peak that we saw in the bubble years in terms of total permit levels. And in general, the construction seems to be going in the better performing submarkets that probably could see some supply at this point because vacancy levels have been pretty low in these spots for a while now, even though rent growth has only recently gotten better. So at this point, not too big of a concern, just finally starting to see a rebound in construction. Now let's look at markets numbers 2 through 5 on the list. San Antonio, Phoenix, San Jose, and Nashville with permits up between 75 and 89% year over year. Here's some quick thoughts on each of these spots. In San Antonio, it seems to be a little bit of an odd time to accelerate. Construction's already been pretty high, and the demand drivers here haven't been as strong as elsewhere in Texas, and so fundamentals have lagged. Phoenix, like Las Vegas, this has been a rebound story, except the rebound started here earlier than in Vegas. And we're actually back already to the levels of permits we saw in the mid-2000s. So that's a bit more worrisome. And furthermore, we're starting to see construction creep from where they initially were, primarily in the better performing submarkets, like some of these eastern suburbs like Scottsdale. Now it's starting to creep into some of the less desirable submarkets that got us in trouble last time. So while the fundamentals look good right now, job growth isn't what it was in the mid-2000s when we were building these kind of numbers previously. We have much slower job growth now, so that's going to make this market one to watch. Next on the list, San Jose. It's pretty much obliterated all permitting records locally going back 30 plus years. There's no shortage of construction thus far in this cycle, but this permit number suggests that construction should accelerate even further. Obviously, some very great fundamentals here right now, but so much for the barrier to entry market theory. Nashville, well, this of course is the new IT market, and it currently leads the nation with ongoing construction amounting to 7.5% of the existing apartment base, and that is huge. And it doesn't look like it's going to slow down anytime soon, with permits now at the highest levels in 30 plus years. And now let's turn the table and look at 5 markets that appear to be heading in the other direction in terms of their multifamily permitting levels. Leading the list by a long shot, Fort Lauderdale and the Virginia Beach, Norfolk area. Multifamily permits down around 60% annually in both spots. Let's come back to Fort Lauderdale in a moment, but for now, let's focus on the Tidewater area, the Virginia Beach, Norfolk market. And this is a story of permits slowing down to meet the realities of a changing market that's really struggled to find its footing after losing out in the military's base realignment program a few years ago. Occupancy and rent growth levels have been far below the pre-recession norms. Yet construction was relatively significant, so that is finally changing. That's why the permit levels are dropping off. And rounding out the list are San Francisco, permits down 34% there. Then we have Baltimore and Raleigh-Durham and Miami, all around 26 to 27% down. San Francisco, unlike neighboring San Jose, the barrier to entry theory is playing out. Baltimore and Raleigh-Durham, both markets saw construction return very quickly when the apartment market started to surge again in 2010. They were some of the earliest to see big construction numbers, and they hit long-term highs in supply over the past couple of years. And that's really pulled down fundamentals. But the good news for both these spots is that construction does appear to be trending downward. And so we should see a lot less supply in these two spots in 2015. And we expect both Raleigh-Durham and Baltimore to record some nice bounce-back years in occupancy and rent growth. And then let's come back to South Florida. We mentioned Fort Lauderdale earlier, topping the list for markets in terms of permitting levels dropping down. Miami was also high on the list. And then West Palm Beach isn't far behind either. Permit levels there were down 18% year over year. And it's a bit surprising to see South Florida down in terms of permitting levels, considering that condo activity is really starting to ramp back up. Apartment construction has been high of late. And bear in mind, these numbers and permits do include condos. But if this trend holds up in terms of declining multifamily permit levels, and that's far from a sure thing, by the way, there's still a good chance this could be a temporary slowdown. We see some real acceleration after this. But if it does hold up, a slowdown in multifamily construction would certainly boost the outlook for the South Florida region. And that's going to wrap us up for today. So until next time, for Apartment Market Dynamics and MPF Research, I'm Jay Parsons. Thank you for watching.
Want more? Go deeper with NPF Research's apartment market reports. From a national level, down to individual metros, to specific neighborhoods, NPF Research has been providing unparalleled apartment market intelligence to the multifamily industry for almost 5 decades. Learn more by contacting us at 877-284-4938 or visit www.npfresearch.com and click on Market Reports.